morning. We'll call you guys the Oliviers. So today we're talking Spice Girls because we only care about the art section of the Times. Fuck everything else. So today, in the only important news that we give a shit about, Spice Girls were for real. Not a joke. If you were not here for Spice Worlds, if you don't know Scary Spice, who are you? To the big hair bitches in the world, we see you, and Scary Spice has made it real for us. Let's read on. Also, I don't follow Allison because you guys know how I feel about Karens. So if they're writers, if they're not writers, it just doesn't matter. So this was written by Alicia Hardnashanavagupa and Jennifer Harlan. We don't know who they are. We don't care. But let's hear what they have to say because the Spice Girls, right? That's what's important. So were they for real? Yes, the Spice Girls were for real. Dismissed as a manufactured group, the Spice Girls had an outsized impact on pop culture. That's true. Facts. In a scene from the 1997 film Spice World, the Spice Girls were rehearsing for the movie's climactic performance at the Royal Albert Hall. Facts. I mean, come on. Britain's better. Their music's better. The artists are better. Adele, you know. Okay, so dressed in their signature looks, they sway their way through one of the hits, the R&B infused "Say You'll Be There." It was absolutely perfect. Facts. Where did we go? The music director declares when they finish, without actually being any good. That's true. So they were musicians. They're pop stars. Like pop girls typically don't have talent. They're Barbies. They're like talking, singing Barbies, right? But no one cares about if you're actually good, if you're a pop girls, except Ariana Grande. She's the only one with talent. Okay, so let's go back. It's a fleeting, self-deprecating punchline in the movie, but one that encapsulates how the pop group has been perceived ever since it was a zigzag ed onto the music scene. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Onto the music scene in the mid-1990s to a mostly young and female audience drawn to their messaging of self-empowerment, individuality, and friendship. The Spice Girls were absolutely perfect. It's true. But to critics and commentators who wrote them off as manufactured phonies and shrill bimbos, they were not actually any good. 25 years after the release of the film, as some of the group's most fervent fans have themselves grown up to be pop titans, facts. Can anyone say, Rihanna, are you freaking kidding? How many Rihanna videos are straight from Spice Girls? Let's name them. S&M, Disturbia, what else can we talk? I mean, we could really go through Rihanna's catalog. Like, this bitch is Spice World inspired, okay? Also, Rock Nation, yes. Okay, well, let's keep going. Is to still be written. To be sure, the criticism of the Spice Girls, most notably that they were superficial, manufactured, disposable pop confection, was not unique to them. But from the beginning of their ascent to superstardom, the fact that the five girls, Victoria Adams, now Beckham, aka Posh Spice. Okay, so guys, I know I have Scary Spice hair, but growing up, I only bought Posh Spice shit because, like, Posh is the one who's into fashion. Like, come on, like, Scary Spice had no style. She dressed awfully with her, like, ugly-ass pumps. Like, Posh Spice was the only one who knew to dress. Like, everyone else could not dress. And who wants a bitch who has no style? Like, nobody. Fuck all the other Barbies. Posh Spice was the only one who mattered. She's the only one who could dress. I mean, look at her. Like, Posh should do, I think she has a couple. She's like a literal fashion icon. She's Giselle before there was a Giselle, okay? Posh Spice was everything. Anyway, Melanie Brown, aka Scary Spice, she's only notable for the hair. Emma Bunton, aka Baby Spice, oh, Ginger was cool too. Melanie Chisholm, aka Sporty Spice, and Gary Holloway, now Horner, aka Ginger Spice, were outspoken young women, seemed to bring an added layer of skepticism. Perhaps nothing illustrates the conundrum of the Spice Girls more starkly than the reception of Spice World, their madcap mockumentary, which earned more than 70 million worldwide, but received memorably withering reviews. Roger Ebert compared it very unfavorably to the film that inspired it, A Hard Day's Night, writing, the huge difference, of course, is that the Beatles were talented, while, let's face it, the Spice Girls could be duplicated by any 5 women under the age of 30 standing in line at Dunkin' Donuts. Now, that's a fact. That's true. Except, it doesn't work because girls don't get along. That's why we haven't had any other Spice Girl groups. Like, you guys saw what tried to happen with Little Mix, and then everyone just completely split up. Like, the pop girls as a group were everything. No one cared about the individual artists. We only care about the group. The group dynamic is important. And the Spice Girls were the only ones who were able to do it, and it's because they're European. It's just better in Europe. I'm telling you, like, American girls are trash. Like, it's just, oh, God. Okay, so, also, who the fuck goes to Dunkin' Donuts anyway? Nobody. What's become clear in the decades since the film's release is that these 5 particular women offered a specific combination of self-expression and brazen ambition that inspired a generation of artists. Contemporary performers such as Adele, Sam Smith, Little Mix, and Ham have all been effusive in their praise for the Spice Girls. I didn't know Ham liked the Spice Girls. That's actually pretty cool. I remember hearing "Wanna Be" on the radio and immediately falling in love with it, the singer Rita Ora said in a recent email. To see women who were doing it just as good as the guys, if not better, was incredibly inspiring as a young girl. At their peak, the Spice Girls were a global sensation, and they remain the most successful girl group of all time. That's so true, of all time. No, if you look at Spice World, let me tell you how futuristic they are. First of all those bitches had apartments. This is in the 90s. They had apartments, Wi-Fi, and space craters in the 90s. Come on, like, they're from the future. From the future. Okay. So at their peak, the Spice Girls were a global sensation, and they remain the most successful group of all time. Their first single, "Wanna Be," released in 1996, was a #1 hit in 37 countries. And their debut album, Spice, is still one of the best-selling albums by any female group. That's so true. The facts are real. And even the girls themselves are still coming to terms with just how much their brief stint at the apex of pop music made an impact. At the time, in the 90s, we were probably too busy, too young, and too exhausted to fully realize what was happening. That's not true. I played Spice World every day for at least 3 years. Like, Spice World was everything. It was like Michael Jackson's movie. What was his movie? The one with the bunny? Come on, that was on replay in my house every day. Like, you only need one. Like, if you have one good movie as a youngster, you can play it every single day. You don't need like 5 or 6. Like, Spice World is life. Okay, so at the time, we were probably too exhausted to fully realize what was happening, but Chris Holmes said in a recent interview with the New York Times, but she added, "It's really quite overwhelming but brilliant to process that we really did make a difference in so many people's lives." That's true. They shaped the artists now. Like, the Spice Girls were like Jimmy Eat World, but for like girls who played with Barbies. Look at them. They're so great. They're on stage. They're like, we're cool. They've got the pumps and the heels. Look at her stilettos. Those are 3 inches. And she's got the Jimmy Choos. Posh, kill it. Look at her right there. She's literally the only one in the black gown. And she's got the bob. Posh Spice has been killing it since the 90s. I can't explain the cultural influence more. Like, she's like they should just put out more Spice Girl Barbies. Because that's all we care about anyway. Okay, so are you streetwise and outgoing? Of the many criticisms leveled at the Spice Girls, perhaps the most potent was that they were not real musicians. Yeah, that's just me. This critique has often been used to belittle pop groups, but it carried particular weight in the 1990s Britain, where male guitar-forward pop bands such as Oasis and Blur preached a gospel of authenticity. So here's the thing, I think it's always like where you are and who your friends are and who are telling you what the new stuff is. But I don't even know who these bands are now. They're not relevant at all. Like no one, who's Oasis? Like what? I've never heard of them in life ever. Yes, the Spice Girls were manufactured. In 1994, Bob and Chris Herbert, a father and son music management team based in Surrey, England, came up with the idea of creating a female version of Take That, the successful British boy band. I don't even know who that is. The Herberts' notion of injecting more femininity into the prevailing lad culture. That's true, yeah. These were like girly girls for the femmes out there. The Spice Girls were everything. It was arguably the stroke of genius in their vision, the music critic David Sinclair wrote in his book Wannabe. Oh, they have a book. Okay, we're gonna do a read along of this book. I didn't even know there was a book. How the Spice Girls reinvented pop fame. Facts. The Herberts placed an ad in a newspaper. Are you 18 to 23 with the ability to sing, dance? Are you streetwise, outgoing, ambitious, and dedicated? And moved the selected singers into a house in the English town of Maidenhead. Oh, that's cool. Paying for their coaching and demos. Wow, that's so smart. Wow. The Herberts placed an ad in a news. That is so smart. That they're like the real world, but for like it was like Diddy's making the band, except Diddy's awful, and also he can't get any talented people. However, as the Spice Girls worked together, Sinclair explained they concocted an ambitious vision for their group that clashed with the Herberts' approach. The Herberts wanted them to stick to the usual lead singer with backup model, while the girls distributed lines equally among themselves. That's so true. Like everybody had a personality and everybody had a voice. That's why everybody loved them. The Herberts imagined 5 girls with a uniform look. The girls wanted to remain distinct. We don't dress similarly in everyday life, and when we tried to do it in a performance, it just didn't work. Chisholm said. Like the Monkees before them, other manufactured band that seized control of its own destiny, the girls decided they wanted out. So they crammed into Halliwell's Fiat Uno and drove off with their master recordings. We felt quite unstoppable. They're badasses. They're like the Batman of the 90s. Okay, these bitches should have been on the Clueless soundtrack. All you need, honestly, if you want to understand how to get through life as a bitch, watch Clueless and watch Spice World. That's all you need to know. You don't even need to know anything else. Spice World and Clueless, the tokens of life. That's all I watched. Like, don't even pay attention to anything else because it's not relevant. For the next 20 years, I guarantee you, if all you watch is Clueless and Spice World, and Bring It On, the original. Bring It On, the original, Spice World and Clueless, I'm telling you, that's all you need to know. That's it. Okay, the girls were already generating enough buzz, thanks in part to a showcase they had done, that they were in a position to audition new managers. Oh, so they just got rid of their managers completely. They decided on Simon Fuller, who was managing the Scottish icon Annie Lennox. I don't know who that is. Met him at his office and started belting out Wannabe. Oh, wow. It was quite unusual, Fuller recalled in a recent interview, to have these 5 young girls come bounding in the office with confidence and say, "You have to manage us and we're not leaving until you agree." Fuller told the girls, "You focus on who they genuinely were and then just like dial it up. If you like pink and fluffy and your mom is your best friend, then be pink 24/7, have fluffy on you all the time. If you're the rowdy northern girl who has no airs and graces, sexy and dominant and noisy, then be that." Fuller explained, "I'm telling you, these bitches are the best. They are the best." All right, where were we at? If you're, yeah, so this idea, Fuller revealed in a 2014 BBC documentary, was inspired by Lennox. Okay, wait, let's pour the tea because we're gonna not, I wanna actually drink this. So to be honest, this is kind of an expensive breakfast. I spent about $30, guys. Did I? Yeah, so I spent $40. But it's worth it. Ooh, that omelet looks good. Okay, we're gonna get through this and then I'm gonna eat, but wow. Okay, so so there was I don't know, I didn't see this documentary. We'll have to go back and find it. It was inspired by Lennox, who upon meeting the girls encouraged them to ham up their personalities. I don't know what that means. The group's girl power message, Chrism said, also gave the group a focus. At first, we wanted to make music and have fun and travel the world and do all these fun things, but the messaging gave us more motivation. We were expressing ourselves as young women in the mid-90s. It was giving fuel to this fire. These are my heroines. While the primary fan base for the Spice Girls was young and female, others were not immune to their charms. In 1997, while in South Africa to perform at a charity concert, the group met Prince Charles and Nelson Mandela. See, they were like activists in Africa in the 90s. These bitches are Michael Jackson, I'm telling you. Okay, so the group's theatrics and self-aware sense of kitsch also sparked the enthusiastic following among the members of the LGBTQIA community, which initially took the act by surprise. Chisholm said, okay, so it's actually not surprising. Y'all know the art schools are full of the gays. Like, everybody knows that. If you just go to art school, you will see for yourself. And that's not a slam or a diss. Like, the gays love the arts and theater. Why do you think they're always on Broadway? Okay, that's how it is. I think it's because people can feel lonely if they're in an environment where they can't fully be themselves, and the Spice Girls gave them something to belong to. That's true. Spice World was a collective community of badass bitches. So the group has since become a popular source of inspiration for drag acts. That's true. And several of the girls have appeared as guest judges on RuPaul's Drag Race. That's true too. There was, however, one demographic that resisted them, the music media. I don't know what that is. I think they were victims of their own success in that sense. The more eyes are on you, the more critical people are going to be, said Joe Stone, an editor of The Guardian, who has written about the girls. I don't know what that means. What is music media? Traditional tastemakers often sniffed at the girls' music, and the tabloids picked apart not only the group's work, but their appearance and what they seemed to represent. What did they represent except pop? When Beckham appeared in a British talk show 8 weeks after she'd given birth, the host Chris Evans weighed her to see if she was back to her pre-baby weight. See, that's fucked up. That's messed up. He subjected Hollowell to the same treatment, and both women have since spoken up about struggling with body image and eating disorders. That's real. Another frequent target of criticism was the group's message of girl power, which was promoted not just in the music, but through its many marketing deals with brands like Pepsi and Chupa Chups lollipops. Activists raised concerns that the group was exploiting feminism for commercial ends. It was, but like what else is pop? Like, what? It's a whole genre. Against the backdrop of the punk riot girl movement and the women-centric Lilith Fair, both of which use music as a platform to advocate specifically feminist, political, and social changes, the Spice Girls perhaps felt like a step back. And Andy Zeisler, who co-founded the feminist pop culture magazine Bitch in 1996, the same year the Spice Girls made their debut. Oh, I didn't know that. But the notion that the girls' message was, by virtue of being broadcast commercially, inherently hollow now seems short-sighted. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, so the picture is actually, oh, this is cool. This is what Olivia Rodrigo redid this. Do you see? They're there with the cars. They're all standing on top of 6 taxis. Olivia Rodrigo totally just stole their entire thing. She's a biter. I like her because the new kids need to see a pop bitch, but like she's a complete biter. No originality whatsoever. Come on, I'm sorry. Driver's License is cute, but it's lame. Like, how more boring can you be? I mean, this bitch got a driver's license, and she's like, I don't know, like, I can't, whatever. But the notion that the girl's message is written by virtue of being broadcast commercially inherently hollow now seems short-sighted. I think it's possible to say, on the one hand, that the Spice Girls and girl power were the very contrived marketing technique, and that's true. But it doesn't mean it wasn't very real for the Spice Girls themselves or for the audience. So creating a cult classic. The idea of the Spice Girls movie was first floated by Fuller and the group's members during their early publicity trips to the United States. And the girls shot the movie in the summer of 1997. Oh, that's so special. While also writing and recording their sophomore album, Spice World. Oh, wow. So the movie was titled after their album. Such was the allure of the group at the time that many renowned actors and musicians readily agreed to take part. Roger Moore, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie. Wait, what? Elton John. Meatloaf? Okay, so can everyone just give Hugh Laurie his flowers? I mean, I loved him from House, but Jesus, like he was in Spice World too? He's like the greatest. I'm gonna get a Hugh Laurie shirt. I'm gonna print one out. I like the one where he's like, he has the 2 pills in his mouth and he's like, everybody lies. Okay, Alan Cumming, whose character spends the film trying to make a behind-the-scenes documentary about the act, was won over. My agent called, and first of all, he asked me, like, do I know the Spice Girls? And I was like, well, I am alive. That's funny. Everybody knows the Spice Girls. But when Spice World came out, it followed the same path as the Spice Girls music, commercial success on the one hand and critical derision on the other. Oh no. For years, Chisholm said he couldn't bring herself to watch the film. Oh wow. But when her now 13-year-old daughter asked to watch it for her 5th birthday, they put it on and she was delighted. I know, I watched it when I was 3. I watched it every day. It's like the perfect film for if you're a girl between the ages of like 4 and 12, you should be watching Spice World. Like, what else are you watching? There's nothing. Like, Frozen? Are you kidding me? The Spice World was like way better. Like, way better. I mean, they had platforms, they had lipstick, all time. I can't even describe it. Just watch it for yourself. Okay, so when Spice World came out, it followed the same path as the Spice Girls music. Commercial success, okay, I already read that. The movie ended up being one of the group's final acts as a 5-some. Oh no, by the time it premiered on December 15th, 1997, the girls and Fuller had parted ways. I didn't even know that. A few months later, Holloway abruptly left the act. Darn. The rest of the girls continued to perform as a 4-some, including in a 1998 world tour, and released a 3rd album, Forever, in 2000. Oh man. See, girls cannot get along. It's because girls hate each other. Mean Girls is real. Oh, you have to add Mean Girls to the list of movies. I'll put it in the description. Okay, so they've appeared together in different configurations for various reunion performances, including 2 tours over the last 2 decades. But the particular magic of their ascent had dissipated. Oh, that's awful. A generation comes of age. In 2012, the organizers of the London Olympics crafted the opening and closing ceremonies to celebrate the best of British culture. It was the best. And there were odes to James Bond, the Queen, and Mary Poppins, the Queen. I don't understand why people give a shit about that old woman. I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, perhaps no act drew more cheers and tears from the crowd than the members of the Spice Girls. All 5 of them reunited as the stadium sang along to their greatest hits. Nearly 3 decades after their peak, critics have started to reconsider the ways in which the Spice Girls reshaped the pop music landscape in Britain and beyond. Okay, I would read the rest of this, but honestly I'm getting hungry. But I just want to say this. The point of having video, right, is you can replay. So like you don't need them to, like, I didn't even know that they broke up because all I did was like, they had so many shows. Like you could go to the record store and just buy all their performances. You could buy the one in Africa, the one in London, the one in France, and you can just watch them on repeat over and over and over again. And then you can dance along to the songs. They have music videos. You can just dance and watch and sing all the songs. Like that's what I was doing every day in my house. I was like, yo, Spice World, woman of the world, spice up your life. Every girl, spice up your life. Oh, every woman of the world, spice up your life. Okay, maybe we can actually, before we go, we're gonna play one Spice World song. Like, I don't know how people don't know this. Like, what were y'all doing? I swear, we had whole watch parties at my house. Like, all I would do is have sleepovers and watch Spice Worlds. Like, that's what we do. Dance to all the songs. Recreate the videos. Like, I don't know. What else is everybody doing? I was, like, giving Scary Spice hairstyles. She had all the hairstyles. She had braids. She had pink onesies. She would have, like, a twist out. She had all the... She had everything. Like, I don't... TikTok? Oh, God. Hurry up. No. Woo! And in the video, they're on the stage. They're performing. See, look, Scary Spice, she's got the unicorn arm. She's got the unicorn buns. Woo! La la la. La 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 la. La 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 la. There she is, Scary Spice. Where you wanna go? Every woman in the world. Shake it to the right. Around. I see ya. La 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 la. And she's got the twist and the cheetah print. She's a cheetah girl. Oh, she's got the platforms. I cannot. Oh, Timbuktu, like my backpack. Every woman in the world. Spice up your life. Spice up your life. Go around. Dude, she was doing Tybo in the 90s. She was like... See, Pasha's got the cheetah girl. Okay, so she's got the... It's a strapless dress that goes like right up... I can't even describe it. Posh is just she's like the only stylish one. And she's got the like slim heel stiletto. It's just Posh. Oh my God. This bitch has been styling since like before I was born. Look, she's got the slim slice, but like literally her haircut is like the bomb. Like I can't. She's got a glossy midnight. I can't even describe all the style aspects of her whole look right now. She's got the strappy, like, oh God. I don't know. Maybe nobody else is just, Spice World is everything. I don't even know how. Spice World, okay. Ugh.